angle. And when he said to me, trying to continue on here, when he said to me, I haven't seen anything yet, and can you show me something? And I did, and I think he was greatly reassured, and didn't think that I had some sort of ulterior motive about it. And then we got on like a house on fire.
Yeah, good.
I mean, it was clear to me that one or two people he was trying to get his knife into, but he left me to get on with it.
It does seem to fall out with a lot of managers.
Well, he fell out with a lot of referees in the end too.
He did.
I mean, at the start of his career, he didn't have problems with referees, but no, later on, as player and manager, he had terrible trouble. Yeah.
And when he was player manager as well, I mean, the players who were in his team must have thought, "What is this guy on about?" You know.
I know. Yes.
And it was always in the last sort of 10 minutes of a match. I wonder if he just got tired and just.
I know. Yes.
Still a great goal.
Oh yes. One of the greatest.
Yeah.
And I was right on the. I was right next to it. That right down that end for the goal. And no, that was just unbelievable. That was.
Yeah. Great.
And,
yeah, one of the great cup final goals.
Yeah, and he had a fantastic game too. He was a player who knew his limitations, but worked those limitations to the extreme. And the way his touch and worked so well in that game, and played other players into the game. I think he had a wonderful game that day.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
I saw him playing for York against United as well.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are we talking about?
Keith Mochin.
Thank you.
And
he never played for Liverpool, I'm afraid.
Oh.
He was lucky.
Not that good then.
Paul was making some kind comments about the book, and so we got on to talking about it. Yes. Yeah.
Peter, it's not that good. He's just not good enough. Subtlety.
Yeah. Right.
When you lot were in second division.
I remember. You only have to say 2 words to Liverpool fans. Worcester City.
Don't remember that.
Where's that? Where's Worcester City?
Liverpool fans are trying to forget him.
Yeah. Worcester City beat Liverpool in, I think it was the 3rd round of the FA Cup. It was I think it was 1-0. And in the next round, who did Worcester City lose to?
Everton.
No, Sheffield United.
Well, I saw Worcester City beat Coventry at Coventry in the FA Cup.
Wow.
One of several disasters we had.
Was this BC or AD?
No such thing now. It's BCE or CE now.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't keep up with it, Ron, I'm afraid.
What's CE? Go on, explain, Ron.
Christian, it's before the Christian era and Christian era.
Is that right?
Yeah, that. If you look at a history book, that's how they'll date things now.
I never heard that before.
No.
No, I haven't.
Okay, so send in all your history books and we'll redate them.
Jesus.
Political correctness.
Oh, unbelievably balmy.
Yeah.
You know, I once went to a Muslim wedding, and there was an imam there, and he made an address to everybody, and he said, a lot of people think that BSc stands for something else, but actually what it should stand for is baking, sewing, and cooking. And he seriously said that together. And I could see some of the younger guys in the congregational audience. They just turned their eyes to heaven and sort of tittered. But it's incredible that somebody, you know, in this era can seriously stand up and say something like that.
Yeah.
Jonathan, I can actually make my daughter cringe with some of the things I come out with. Mind you,
Oh, it's me too. Yes, I mean,
She does wear the social conscience on her shoulders a bit.
Right.
But you've got to
No, I
be so
do.
careful these
I
days.
do it on purpose too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel it's a dad's and an uncle's duty.
Yes.
Quite right, Keith. Yes, to provoke. Yes.
Yes.
We're
They
all
don't-
with you, Keith.
Right. Shall we go get cracking? John's not with us today. He's got to go to the hospital for, I'm not sure. I think he's just a checkup today.
I think he's having his catheter out, Keith.
Is it? All right. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I saw him on Friday.
Ow. Right.
Too
Okay.
much
Well, let's
information.
hope it goes well.
Better out than in.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what they said after 12 pints. But before then, if they get it down, you said it'll do you good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm afraid it's not such good news about Big Paul.
Oh,
The last one that I got, I'll read it out to you because it says itself in the response. It says, I just sent, the first message I got was, Paul is still sedated and on a respirator, but this thing may wake him in next few days and get true idea of what functions he may have lost. And then the next up, which is possibly even worse, no change at the moment, I'm afraid, still sedated and no response to anything below his neck. With a lot of swelling and still on a respirator.
That was
And that's running for the tram.
from a fall.
There's always another one.
He is such a lovely
Bad
man.
luck, isn't it?
Mm.
But anyway, I'm sorry to give you that, but I just thought we should all know.
So,
Yeah, thanks, Keith.
His brothers will keep me in touch. I'm not going to keep pestering his brother for
No.
I'm probably just once a week, once maybe twice, and then I'll let everybody know each week how he's getting on. But it's incredible. Anyway, I'm sorry to put it down on it like that, but Paul would want us to just carry on as normal. I know he would. So let's move on with it.
such a freak accident.
A freak accident, yeah. It's just unreal.
Bad luck, isn't it? You know,
Well, our
You
prayers are
fall.
with him.
you fall and hurt something. You don't
Yeah.
fall and paralyze you.
No. So that's where we are with that. Just as a reminder, next week I won't be on, not as myself anyway, because it's Sue's dad's funeral next week. Ian's going to hold the fort, and he may be logged up. He'll probably be as me because that way he can get to do all the stuff. So it might say my name, but it'll be Ian that comes on.
It'll be a better looking Keith for a change.
yeah.
And in actual fact,
With or without dog. With or without dog, Ian.
Well, we'd all have to shave if we'd shave our head. I've upset him, he's gone. That really is sad news about Paul.
Yeah.
Offline, when he's out of the coma or whatever, we'll send a card or something. I'll talk to Keith about it. But Keith's got other things on his mind already, as you can probably gather.
Yeah.
Right, shall we crack
Right,
on. Oh, he's back, he's back.
Just to make you aware, I'm also missing the following week as well because I'm having to take my sister-in-law to the airport to go to get a shot of her. But don't. Oh, you better cut that out.
Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody. No. I'm taking her and her partner Phil back to the airport. They're going back home to Tenerife. So.
Oh, not Afghanistan then.
Not Afghanistan. No. I wouldn't do that. Oh no.
It's on the government green list, Afghanistan now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Anyway,
Why is it everything on the green list? Are all the places you don't want to go?
What, you haven't been to the Falkland Islands before, on?
You try go to the Falkland Islands in a Charlie 130 Hercules with no seats. Interesting ride from Ascension Island. About
Right.
4 hours.
wow.
I've heard
sound like
Dominic
Uncle
Raab's
Al.
going.
Ian, you sound like Uncle Albert then.
Well, I haven't crashed any boats
Yeah.
yet. I haven't crashed any boats on the Thames yet, but I intend to.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so. That's all the news of the group that I have at the moment. Well, except to say that tomorrow at we're hoping to see Eric. Now, so I know some of you don't know Eric, but
Wow.
Eric is one of the stalwarts of the group who sadly lost his wife and has had a bit of a rough time, but we understand he's coming along to the meeting tomorrow, which should be.
Brilliant.
I also met Colin, again, some of you won't know, in Crystal Peaks yesterday. He can't get to Bayton because he hasn't got a car. So I've offered to give him a lift. He didn't say yes, he didn't say no. So we might have Colin as well.
Right. And Barry turned up last week.
Yeah.
Right.
To the non-Crystal Peaks guys, Colin and Eric had a couple of common features. One was that they're both gentle men, very unassuming men, lovely men, who once you got to them to come out of the shells had some interesting things to say. But the other thing is, and it was the beauty of Crystal Peaks, is they were brought like kids to the meeting to Crystal Peaks while wifey went off shopping.
Yeah.
You stay there for an hour and a half and behave yourself. But lovely people. And Barry is one of our artists. He does caricatures, which are absolutely stunning. Interesting character. But they're I guess they were founder members, aren't they, Keith?
Yeah. Very slow, very early members.
I don't think Dave's not a founder member, but I think Barry and Eric are.
Colin's been
Colin,
there a long time.
Colin, yeah. Sorry, I was thinking of Dave. Colin, yeah, Colin's one of the founder members, yeah. And like I say, they were brought along and said, stay here for an hour and a half and behave yourself. Well, they stopped for an hour and a half. I'm not sure they quite behaved themselves. Because,
What was that song Eric sang?
About the Maharaja of Magador or something like
Yeah.
that. Incredible.
You wouldn't have recorded that one, would you?
He was a gentleman. He is a gentleman, but he'd come out with things like that, and you go, "Hello."
Well, we were just gobsmacked. It's normally John that does all the singing. And then somebody mentioned this Maharaja of Magador, and Eric sang the whole song. And it was sort of.
And this was a time, guys, when we used to have two ladies acting as facilitators at the group, Sally and Trish. Of course, they went crimson with it.
Under the table. Yeah.
So
since then they introduced the red and yellow cart system, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Yeah. Yeah. And
And the whistle.
go on.
And the whistle. It was.
Oh, and the whistle. Yeah.
I do miss it. The way it was started, you know, Trish should come or Sally and she'd blow on the whistle. It wasn't one of these shrill blasters. It was just like a policeman's whistle. Pee, 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 which was no damn use to man the beast, but it eventually quietened down. And then as the guy said, if we got out of order, particularly John, I mean, John at Manor Top got 8 red cards in one meeting.
Didn't make any difference though.
No.
Trish's problem with trying to keep order was she couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah. That's true. By the way, I saw Sally yesterday, but didn't have a chance to talk. So I was having a conversation with someone else, and so anyway,
They were lovely people. Sorry, Keith, just to interrupt. These two ladies are lovely people, not were. But when they first set up the group, the story has it that Sandra sort of wheeled it in, you know, lift right, lift right, lift right, lift right. Now you two are going to facilitate the Sporting Memories group. Oh
wow.
But after about, I don't know, a few weeks, they thoroughly enjoyed it. So that by the time I joined, which is about 12 months later, they didn't want to leave. And Sandra was saying, look, you don't need 2 facilitators. What have you? The girls wouldn't go, would they, Keith?
no.
They did after you joined in.
Sorry?
Tell me, how long ago did the group begin?
5 years.
4.
It's over 4 years.
Is it? Yeah.
November is the anniversary because I came.
Yeah.
My birthday was actually on the first anniversary, so I remember.
Yeah.
That. So that's got to be 4 years.
I think it'd be 5 years
Probably
in
on the
November.
second and
Yes.
third as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I came to the second meeting. I didn't go to the first.
So you do realise that one or two of you guys who don't know of Crystal Peaks, you're going to have to pay us a visit sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd love to.
In a
Brilliant.
17-seater coach.
All right.
For 6,
You better
for 18 of you, Ian.
you better explain that, Ian.
Keith, you do it better. But,
Okay.
but you were there when it was
One day, Tricia and Sally organised a trip to the Football Museum in Manchester, and there were 17 of us wanted to go, and so showed it a 17-seater coach, which is what you would do. The only problem is when it turned up, one of the 17 was the driver. Which we all found hilarious in a way, but ridiculous in another way, you know. Anyway, the thing was resolved. They went and they called somebody up and they sent a council car and driver to take some of us over. So it all went swimmingly, but it's always, if anyone mentions a coach, it's always, is it 17-seater? So it's like the auction joke and the Ivan Major joke about if you mention a speedway, it's all right, it's always Ivan Major. If you mention a boxer, it's always more. And if you mention a coach, it's always a 17-seater. So right, we'll move swiftly on. And I'm glad to see that, although I hardly recognise him, because he's gone and had his hair cut. I have never, ever, I've known Dave now for, I don't know how many years. I've never seen him with short hair before.
But you've all had haircuts. You've had a haircut, Keith.
Well, I have a shave more likely on.
Which one did Keith have cut?
Yeah, both of them. I had both of them done. You should talk.
Not 5, 3 of them are loose.
But Dave,
My grandson says I'm a skinhead.
I have never
I
seen
like it.
Dave anything other than looking like Father Christmas on a windy day.
I'd like to make it last all year.
So I'm relieved and happy to say that Dave is back doing the news of the week. So without
Go
further
away.
news of the week, news of the week.
Yeah, well
news of the
done.
week.
Yeah, thank you. Glad to be back. Right, Paralympics I'll start with. Came to a close at the weekend with Team GB having won 124 medals, 41 gold, 38 silver and 45 bronze. They finished second to China in the medal table, as China finished with 207 medals. The GB total was 4 more than London, but they didn't beat Rio, where they got 147. But saying that, the Russians were back at these Olympics, so they did really well. One of the highlights has to be the performances of Dame Sarah Story, who, after winning her 3rd gold of the Games last week, became Britain's most successful Paralympian with 17 golds. The team also won medals in a greater range of sports than any other country has ever done before. And 56% of athletes making their debut at the Games, the Team GB, won a medal. So pretty impressive.
Dave, I think I saw something on the on Look North that said that every Yorkshire person that was entered in it had won a medal.
Yeah, I saw that, Keith.
Oh.
Excellent.
And I also remember, I think it wasn't this one, it was the previous games. They said that if Yorkshire was a country, they would have finished something like 4th in the medals table.
Mm.
There's many who wish Yorkshire was a country.
Sorry, Lanks.
You should be.
Football.
Peter's gone to sleep, look. He's woken up.
Well, let's talk about Yorkshire.
He's underwhelmed.
France international defender Jean-Pierre Adams has died at the age of 73. And I mentioned this one because for the last 39 years, he's been in a coma. He underwent routine knee operation at Lyon Hospital after being given anaesthetic that should have lasted for a few hours, but he never woke up. So I know apparently the surgeon was taken to court by the family.
There was a strike at the hospital on that day, and they only had one anaesthetist for I think it was 8 operations, and he just took himself around every operation apparently, and that's how it went.
Incredible.
And on the hospital front, Pele has been in hospital for 6 days. At first an undisclosed health problem, but today I see that he's had a tumour removed from his colon, but apparently doing well. The Guinea-Morocco World Cup qualifier was called off by FIFA following a coup in Guinea. The Moroccan team were flown out of the country pretty quickly, but there's still a Liverpool player, Naby Keita, still in the country. They're trying to get him back.
Yeah, he's hiring a jet from somebody, apparently, from an Air Force.
God. Yeah.
Another World Cup qualifier that was not called off, but abandoned. Argentina against Brazil. They've been playing 10 minutes when Brazilian public health officials and federal police officers invaded the pitch. The 4 Premier League players, Celso, Ramiro, Buendia and Martinez, have been accused of entering Brazil illegally by failing to quarantine. Argentina have also been accused of falsifying documents by failing to declare the 4 players had come from the UK. So whether that'll be replayed sometime, don't know.
Couldn't write the script, could you?
No, isn't it? They'd been in the country for 3 days. Why did they let the game start?
Yeah. Why did it take so long? They must have known that they were there.
Well, I've read one thing on it, and the public health officials are saying that they'd been told that the players would not be playing.
Okay.
But that's not
They
the
was-
point. The fact is they're in the same bubble. You know, it's nonsense.
Well, no, I think they've been told that they were isolating and would not be playing. So, yeah. So it'll run this story. Quite why Argentina must have known what the restrictions were.
But the problem arose in Venezuela, didn't they? Didn't they come for some reason? Didn't they fly from England to Caracas and then come?
I think they'd played. Had they played in Venezuela first?
Oh, had they? Yeah.
And then moved down, and they'd not declare. My understanding is they'd not declared that they'd come from England within the last 14 days, and they had.
Yeah.
Jonathan hit the nail on the head. It's Caracas.
They're going home via Croatia, the Aston Villa players, apparently, so that they don't have to quarantine in England.
No, that's rubbish as well.
Yeah.
That doesn't work either, because the form states, have you been in a red or another country at any time in the last 14 days? So I can't see them being allowed to play until after they've quarantined.
Well,
Even,
they've got to stay in
even if-
Croatia for at least 10 days, apparently.
oh yes, yeah. So, but it's all nonsense. Why?
They're just trying to work the system, aren't they?
Yeah.
If they've got to stay in Croatia for 10 days, why not come home and come to England and stay in England for 10 days?
It's sunnier in Croatia.
Well, that's true. Not today, Keith.
Oh, I suppose not, no. Right, okay, so sorry, Dave.
Okay, that's there to discuss. England, meanwhile, has won 2 games on the trot, both by the same scoreline, 4-0 against Hungary and Andorra. The game in Hungary was marred by objects thrown onto the pitch and racist chanting aimed at Sterling and Bellingham. Already ordered to play some games behind closed doors by UEFA, they now face an inquiry by FIFA. The 2 wins left England with a 100% record after 5 games and a 5-point lead over Poland, their next opponents. Meanwhile, there were wins for Scotland and Wales, with Gareth Bale scoring a hat-trick for Wales in their 3-2 win over Belarus.
Scotland won.
Yeah.
It was only
1-0.
Moldova.
Oh, I'm going to say don't they play Austria? Is it tonight?
It's Austria
Tonight,
away
I
the next
think.
game, yeah. So
They'll be having a national holiday.
Austria were thrashed by Israel 5-2 over the weekend. So it might give them some hope.
Yeah.
Possible hope.
Just on and Dave, on Andorra, I don't know if to me 4-0 doesn't sound like a great result over a team like Andorra, but apparently the England under-21s, when they played them not that long ago, drew 3-3 with them.
Yeah.
They've obviously got 1 or 2 players coming through who
The
are
Andorran
not
The
bad.
Andorran under-21s won at the weekend. Forget who they were playing, but
Yeah,
something like Kosovo or something.
yeah.
To be fair, Keith, we did miss 3 sitters against Andorra.
Yeah,
Mm.
maybe, but it's still you know, a 4-0 win, and the players are all fresh for tomorrow. I felt sorry for Sam Johnson in the goal because he never had a shot to save. Well, he did. It was one from 50 yards, apparently.
He took a good book with him.
But that was it. Yeah, all right.
The should be good. There's nothing else to do there. Just of no really.
Okay. Hi, Dave.
Right, still on the World Cup. FIFA are proposing that the World Cup be held every 2 years. UEFA enlisting the support of the European Club Association to oppose the proposals. Just sounds ridiculous every 2 years.
Yeah.
Players will be playing non-stop 52 weeks a year.
Money, money, money.
Yeah, that's it again. And talking of money, that money that's in debt, if you've got any spare candles, can we send them to Barcelona, please? Now 1.15 billion in debt. The club are reported to be attempting to cut costs by saving electricity and restricting the players' use of club facilities. How the heck they've been allowed to get into that situation? Goodness knows.
Yeah.
So-called fair play and everything.
Yeah, but they rely on a crowd of 98,000 every other week.
Yeah. You go above the prices to pull that
government, or is that Madrid?
Yeah, and a fortune tourist.
It won't be Barcelona that's getting support from the national government because they're.
I think it might be Madrid.
Yeah, it might be.
1.5 billion. That's
1.15 billion, yeah.
1.15. Wow.
That's
Ronaldo's wages, isn't it? For a year.
Yeah.
He's probably earned that, yeah. Rugby league.
Dave, he didn't earn it. He's not earned it. He's getting paid it, but he's not earned it.
Yeah, there's a difference.
I state here and now, I cannot see Ronaldo staying the pace in the Premier League.
Oh.
No.
That sounds like a Liverpool wish list.
No, I wish he played for Man United. You know, every time he's played against Liverpool, he's done now.
He'll only play half the games, but he'll score goals.
He could finish up like Gareth Bale did at Tottenham. Nothing like the player that left Tottenham.
Yeah. And coming on as a substitute.
Yeah.
But the bad thing is, and it keeps out players like Jesse Lingard, who I think should be playing regular football for a good side, because I think he needs to be brought on, if you see what I mean.
Of course.
Yeah.
Should have stayed at West Ham.
I think you're right, actually, Dave.
Yeah.
Man United wouldn't. Man United wouldn't sell him.
Well,
No.
Not at a reasonable price.
But his game came on at West Ham, didn't it, Dave? He certainly, and I think one of the commentators said the other night he was enjoying himself. You know, he was
brilliant for him. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Right. Sorry to bring this one up, Ian. Leading Catalan Dragons 18-6 at half time. Extended their lead to 30 points to 12 with less than 4 minutes to go. However, the Dragons scored 3 tries in that time to make it 30-all. And the match went into golden point extra time. Saints fullback Coote missed a drop kick before Maloney kicked a 40-metre drop goal to win the match in the final minutes of golden point extra time and gave the Dragons their first Super League Leaders' Shield.
Wow. I haven't seen something about the challenge, the Rugby Challenge Cup is not being played at Wembley or wasn't played at Wembley.
No, it's going to be at White Hart Lane, isn't it, the next one? I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. On one of their pitches, because they've got at least 2 pitches, or they've got 2 surfaces, haven't they? They're on, I think they're on like things they wheel one out and then we'll take the other one away.
Really?
Yeah.
Why aren't they playing at Wembley?
Be down to money, probably.
Got a better, the FA will be charging them too much.
Yeah.
Probably.
Formula One.
And Tottenham have got to pay for that stadium somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the FA, they've increased, they've increased some of the fines to players at local level. It used to be £35 if you got sent off. It's now 40, which is quite a jump. And considering that a lot of people and a lot of clubs will be still struggling for money, it's a big jump. Although it should encourage the clubs to make sure that the players behave.
Yes.
Good luck with that one.
Yeah. Well, they as I said in that message, well, we've got less than a minute, so we'll move on. We'll go and get a drink, and Dave, we'll see you after.
I might be a few minutes late joining after the break.
Okay.